What's up, Drop Pod listeners? You can check out new episodes of the Drop Podcast every Tuesday and Thursday wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find all of our content on YouTube at the Drop Golf Podcast and on our socials. That's Instagram and Twitter at the Drop_pod. No matter how you consume us, like, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. Follow and listen along.
This episode is presented by All County Exteriors. Discover the excellence of All County Exteriors, a third-generation leader in premier exterior home remodeling, proudly celebrating over 40 years of success. While most remodeling companies last just 5 years, All County Exteriors has withstood the test of time, consistently delivering top-quality roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Their expertise extends from small repairs to large additions, serving homeowners and builders alike. More than just a construction company, All County Exteriors is deeply committed to community service, proudly supporting organizations such as the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the American Cancer Society, Roofs for Troops, and Parents of Autistic Children. If you have planned to do any exterior remodeling, call the experts at All County Exteriors for a free, no-obligation estimate for your project. Just call 732-370-2780 or email them at info@allcountyonline.com. That's 732-370-2780 for All County Exteriors for all your remodeling needs. This is the Drop Podcast, where we talk golfing in the Garden State. I'm Mike Poro, and this is Ryan Coulott.
What's up, Drop Pod people? Welcome back to episode 117. A happy early new year to those that are listening on Tuesday, December 31st. But if you're listening after, happy new year to everybody. Mike, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. We have a very awesome interview that we got coming up. So let's jump into what we got, little schedule update, and then we'll get into the episode. Yeah?
Works for me.
All right. Yesterday, the 30th, Mike did not have a Mike Versus. You're going to see a running theme for the next, to carry the 3 or 4 months. Mike is out of those. So Monday, we don't really have much going out. Anything that comes out Monday is going to be a bonus. Today, episode 117 is December 31st, the last day of the new year of 2024, Mike. It's been quite a run. So if you guys are listening to us, thank you for listening. If you're watching this, Mike, wave to the camera. Thank you for following along on YouTube. Subscribe over there. Watch the videos over there. That's where our videos live there. That's where we have them on YouTube. We're putting all of our stuff on YouTube, the video recording of the podcast, all of our versus stuff, Physical Fitness Fridays is there. So go check out our YouTube page. Subscribe, watch, all that good stuff. Tomorrow, January 1st, we're starting it off with an ending, Mike. Yeah, I know. Very crazy. Ryan verse, Manasquan River, hole 18. Damn it. I had such a good intro to it. Hole 18. I've kind of planned it out over the course of the fall. I was able to get to Manasquan and do some recording, and I've obviously been putting a bunch of them out. This is the last one that I have. It's the 18th hole. It is the closing hole. So I kind of felt like January 1, even though it's the beginning of a new year, kind of the ending of a series, so to speak. I do have more episodes to come out as far as Ryan versus on Wednesdays, but this one is Manasquan's hole 18. I'm sure we'll talk about hole 17 in a few minutes there. But so let's keep going. That's the first. The second, Thursday, January 2nd, we have Drew Stoles, aka Sleaze. He is the co-host of the Subpar podcast. He's the co-host with Colt Notes. Big time. Mike and I were very fortunate to be able to talk to someone of his ilk, his caliber. Just a great dude. And Mike, I think I was texting with you after. He's just a dude, man. He's really a good, laid back, down to earth guy. Just so cool just to chat it up with him. And we've done this before, Mike, where we interview these guys and then we end the interview and we talk for a couple minutes afterwards, right? Just kind of like, hey, thanks for coming on or whatever. We could have done a whole nother interview on the interview that Drew and I did afterward, just like talking about, we talked for probably another 45 minutes after we ended the interview. So really a good guy. And again, just laid back, just likes talking golf, likes helping out people, just likes to yuck it up. So really good interview. He's a really fun guy to have, and a guy that's in our industry. So you're going to get a guy who's comfortable in front of a mic.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's one of those ones for us. It's kind of similar to like the Scott Fawcett, where it's kind of outside our realm of
Mm-hmm.
golfing in the Garden State. But anytime that we feel like we can be educated on certain things, and Scott was all about your golf game, and Drew's all about the media world and how they do things at a higher level. So it's definitely a fun sit down, relaxed interview.
It definitely is, and it is something, Mike. And now I'm having trouble with remembering whether we talked about it on the episode or after. But he's playing in the USGA four ball, which is at Plainfield this year. So there's, if we want to make it a New Jersey connection, he's going to be in Jersey this summer, playing in the four ball, or this later this year playing the four ball. And then Friday the 3rd is Physical Fitness Fridays. You got to head over to YouTube. You got to check it out. Again, Dr. Mike and I are hitting it. It's really just working out. I get that, but some of the exercises we're doing, like you saw last week, like I was slamming ropes like they were a golf club, into things, trying to work on the power and keeping the timing, and trying to strengthen those some of those little things, like those little stabilizing muscles. Others are, um, you know, doing power cleans and doing deadlifts and doing, some of the are the more traditional ones. So it's a little mixture of both. It's really good stuff. Think it's entertaining. Hopefully you're enjoying it. But that's, head over to YouTube there on Friday, January 3rd. All right, Mike. Let's get into the meat of our episode today, or let's get some stuff. Do you have any quick hitters? Mike's, we gotta find a name for 2025 for these. Mike's quick tips, or Mike's quick something or other.
I'll let the word wizard figure that out in a timely manner. But I do want to kind of start this off. I know it is at a awkward date in terms of like it's not the new year because it's New Year's Eve, but I do want to welcome some of the new advertisers on the show. You're going to start to hear some different names, some same names, some new names, um, because I think it's important that the audience understands like these guys and these companies and these businesses have kind of ride and died with us, and I think you know, we're beyond appreciative of the things that they've been able to assist us with, while keeping this thing flowing and moving and going in the right direction. And then new people want on, and it's just one of those things that I do want to make sure that we start this bad boy off on as a thank you to them for sponsoring, continuing to work with us, and just being partners in this whole thing.
That was not the right time for me to sip my coffee, Mike. But yeah, I totally agree with you there. We are super appreciative. You and I cannot do this podcast without our advertisers and our sponsors, and frankly, without them, we wouldn't be doing this anymore. So thank you to those that have been ride or die with us. I mean, we've had people on since episode 3, and there's been people with us that are, we can't tell you how grateful we are. And sometimes, even if we don't say it every episode, and we just have, we plug the ad reads in, and Mike and I really don't banter back and forth with it. We really do appreciate it. Again, it doesn't go underappreciated that we can't do this without you. We can't, you know, we can't buy new mics, we can't buy a computer, we can't, go some of the places we get to go on without the sponsors. And again, we really appreciate those that have been with us from the beginning. Those that are new and jumping on, we're excited about that new relationship and the new uh, possibilities and opportunities that are going to come from that. So some really big things coming from those. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
And that what kind of leads me into 2025 here is as we head into the new year, we're looking for new sponsors potentially. If anybody's interested in the Mike's versus series, the Ryan versus series, like these are things that are going to
The Mike
not
versus
come out.
Ryan series.
The Mike versus, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of content that I know that people said, like, what are some different avenues that we can get involved in the podcast? If it's not just ad reads, is there content? Like, well, these are 3 opportunities right here that if people are interested, listen, You see the numbers that go out. They're very consistent. I think you've done over probably 30 holes of the Ryan verse. I know I did 30 plus holes. We had a short little series of Ryan versus Mike. So there's definitely opportunities out there for people to hop on to get more of anything. It's brand recognition. And I know people love that when they see their logo on certain things.
Yeah, Mike, I'm going to get at least 38 total for 2024. And I know some of those are coming out in 2025, but I have, again, we're not playing golf, but I recorded some. We haven't had, I was able to record a whole bunch at Hamilton Farm. That's really going to be the next series that
Batch.
comes out, next batch that comes out. As I said, tomorrow is going to be my last one at Manasquan. And then I played the Hickory course at Hamilton Farm, and I have a bunch from the Hickory. So I think it's going to be around 38 that we're going to have in total. So that you're really getting your money's worth, because Mike and I are playing a lot of golf. We're recording when we're out there. We're going to places, and we're trying to show you it. And we'll see how if we can get some new sponsorship. So if you are interested, please feel free to reach out. And frankly, if you're not interested in one of those and you have a different idea and want to sponsor something else, reach out to us. Right, we are open to talk about those kind of things.
Are you looking for the perfect place to host the wedding of your dreams? Or maybe your company is looking to host an unforgettable holiday party with the beautiful backdrop of a golf course? Or just looking for a great spot for casual comfort food? Then you need to visit Galloping Hill Golf Course in Kenilworth, New Jersey. Conveniently located in Union County, right off exit 138 on the Garden State Parkway, Galloping Hill encompasses over more than 270 beautiful acres. Book your special day in their recently updated banquet space and enjoy the wonderful scenery on the golf course during your on site ceremony. You could also host your holiday party in the formal ballroom or in the casual setting of the Hill Tavern Bar and Grill, the gastro pub with seasonal food and beer options updated regularly. Their catering teams consistently win awards each year from the Knot and Wedding Wire. Schedule a tour for your special event at the clubhouse at gallopinghill.com. Don't forget, golf never stops at Galloping Hill either. Open all year round. Go enjoy the course on those nice days in the winter and hang out in the tavern after your round. The fun never stops at Galloping Hill Golf Course. And then I think the last thing I have here is I do want to make sure I re-mention the store. I know it's still freezing cold outside, and you and I, as I see you got the hoodie on now, these things are very good. I know I handed a few out over Christmas, and everybody absolutely loved them. Wow, I wish I knew it was this comfortable early on. I would have got my own. Thank you for giving it to me. And I know people hear us say it all the time, and it's like, oh, these guys are just pushing merch. They're just pushing things. The reality is it's not. It's not. I'm just speaking on facts here that once you get one, you will say, okay, Mike was right about this. So don't forget about the store. Don't sleep on the store. Shorepromotions.com/the drop. You'll go see it there. $30 for a hoodie. You legitimately cannot beat that.
We've been talking about it. The only thing that we need to say about it is make sure you size up. I ate pretty good over Christmas break so far. I've had a few hearty dinners, we'll call them, and definitely one or two dozen cookies. So it is it you know it we need to get back on the train there. But yeah, you do need to size up, and you do need to make sure that you're making sure you get one that fits appropriately. But man, they are super comfortable. And as I've said before, like I played golf in it to keep warm, and I played golf in it to because I needed something just with a little bit of a hood, and like it can do both things. It's very versatile in that way.
And that's all I got for the little Mike wrap up. But
Okay.
I'll have to think of something as sort of a creative name for that. But I will. I
All
will. Coming maybe next Tuesday, I might have a new title
right.
segment name.
uh, so Mike, let's. I got something for you here. It being that it's New Year's Eve, right? This is episodes coming out New Year's Eve. We may not have thought about this by the time we're recording, but have you thought of any New Year's resolutions, or do you want to talk maybe what those resolutions are next week?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I personally I have thought of it. I haven't thought of it more so on a podcast related thing, but I do know for me personally, it's been a conversation my wife and I have had about like, are you making one? And she typically makes one. And, she did one this past year was run half marathon 52 times once a week. And she accomplished that, which is absolutely insane. But, I want to do it more on like a personal level because I have a lot of issues and a lot of problems, and I'm trying to figure like how I can better myself, but I haven't thought of it on a podcast related basis.
It's funny you say that because I've done the same thing. We've been talking about uh, what kind of things we want to do. I've recently, um, changed my living situation and changed my relationship situation. So, I'm now dating somebody, so we're living together and we're, you know, doing things kind of together. So we were talking about it kind of as we were driving around over Christmas, just kind of throwing some ideas around. But Mike, I'm kind of in the same boat. I talked about it more personally than I did more podcast stuff. So why don't we table this and we'll talk resolutions for the podcast next week? Sound good?
Works for me. I'll be here.
Perfect. Oh, that's good. I plan on being here too. Uh, let's go PGA Tour. We got Chris and Max are teeing it up this week. In
We're
the
back,
Century,
baby. We're
out,
back. We're
out in
back.
Hawaii. We got some kind of like that's going on, and we'll see how that goes. But the golf season is officially starting. PGA Tour 2025 is going to be underway, starting on Thursday this week. So make sure you're paying attention. Those views in Hawaii are just incredible, just
Listen,
amazing.
you want to talk about getting a leg up on the whole tour. Chris and Max have that opportunity because it's a reduced field. I believe there's only 60 players playing in it. It's big time money. You could only get into the event if you won or you finished in the top 50 of the FedEx Cup. So like it's a reduced field, and Scotty's obviously hurt now. He just did a little damage over Christmas. He's out of surgery, so he's out.
Mhm.
Rory's not going there. There's a bunch of dudes not going there. So it's a great opportunity for Max and Chris to get off to a great start in 2025.
Right, hopefully finish high, and again, those guys like Rory's going to be in the top whatever the money list for the year, the FedEx points and all that kind of stuff. Those guys, they're going to get their points. Chris and Max got to figure it out while they're having an opportunity here, and this is a great opportunity for them to get some big points, make some big money in a special event that is missing some of its special people. So
Yeah.
hopefully they can make some noise there. Kind of on that PGA Tour front, Mike. I know it was a week ago. I know we talked a little bit about it, but it was big news this past week. Was the Tiger Charlie bit of news with the PNC? We talked about how much I like that event. I talked how much it's cool to see Charlie and Tiger teeing it up together. I like that father son kind of dynamic. But that hug, oh, just tore my heartstrings. Didn't tug, it tore. It was really special to see that. Those that have been maybe under a rock, or maybe they were in a darkness chamber with Aaron Rodgers for the last week. Charlie has a hole in one, doesn't know it. Then the crowd goes wild. The smile on Tiger's face, the embrace, the hug. It was so. Again, I don't. Whenever I see them together, I don't see them as Tiger the golfer. I see him as Tiger the dad when he's with Charlie, and it just is so. It's so heartwarming. It really is. It was really nice to see. I was not watching it live, but man, did I watch every angle and must have rewatched it 100 times because it was really nice to see.
Well, it's nice to see the big cat back. The big cat was out there pumping the ball a little
Yeah.
bit. He walked all 36 holes with Sam on the bag as well. So like I said, the year of the Tiger is coming up in 2025, and I think he kind of put an exclamation mark on that a little bit here. And I also want to say this is I'm not sure if but we're recording, obviously on Monday here. This is obviously Tuesday. Do you know what today is? It's the big cat's birthday.
The
He turns
31st,
40,
yeah.
49, no, 30th. December
Today.
30th.
Yeah, the 30th. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was
He's
Tiger's birthday.
Yeah, he's 49 today. The big cat
Wow.
is 49. Yeah, so I want to make sure my buddy out there in Jupiter, Florida hears me and says, Mike from the Drop Podcast did wish me a happy birthday. So, I mean, it's out there. I know we're boys and I know I'm pushing hard for him and I know a lot of people hate on me for that, but hey, listen, Big Cat, he's back. Year of the Tiger, 2025.
Happy birthday, Tiger. 49 is going to be a good one for him. Uh,
Great one.
and then, Mike, can we talk about? I don't need to debrief it, because it was a week ago. But I got to mention, it is amazing what Bernard Longer is doing. But he is winning Champions Tour events, and they play those at like 6,800, 6,900 yards. And he played the PNC from just about 6,000. I know that your age, like you play the tee box for your age, right? You can play the seniors tees, they're all the way up. There's got to be a way though that you play your age and then it takes your handicap into consideration, right? There's got to be something, because he's hitting it out there, and he's walking 100 yards for like tees up with Tiger, and then walks another 100 yards before he tees up. It was crazy to see.
Yeah, there was a couple things that, I agree with that. That guy, I don't know what's going on with him, but he just, he's been better as he's gotten older.
I mean, he's in his
And
70s, right? Isn't he
yeah,
70 something?
I don't know his
69,
specific. Yeah,
68.
he's
I mean,
either
late
way.
60s, early 70s. And I'm not
There's
saying he shouldn't have, like, he shouldn't play the Tigers tees, right? I get that. But like, he also should have been playing probably somewhere around 6,700 yards. Even if you want to give him a break, 66. I mean, he played just about 6,000 yards for that. I mean,
yeah,
he brings 4 clubs: putter, driver, a wedge or
wedge.
two. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, he's 67, and to your point, I think he should be playing the 6,500 yard range, no doubt about it. But there are, and he's gotten better with age. There's no question
hmm
about it. I mean, I think he's been better on the senior tour than he's been on the PGA
Or
Tour
just
back in
able
his
to
day.
withstand. Like, he's just able to keep his body in shape longer than everybody else.
The one thing I do question now, like I get it, you're allowed to move the ball. I don't know if you saw this,
I did.
but did you
Yep.
see when he teed the ball up in the bunker and hit a driver
Yep.
out of the bunker?
I
I
did.
mean, there's got to be some times where like you can't put a sand tee in the bunker and then hit the driver out of the bunker. Like, I don't know. I get it. Listen, I know those guys really aren't there to win because of the event and what it's really the purpose of. But I think down the stretch, you saw the numbers. The ratings came out unbelievably
They
well.
did.
Clearly, Tiger still has that needle and moves it. But I just thought that was kind of like a suspect thing
I,
on top of him not playing the right yardage.
I saw that, and so for those that don't know, it's scramble rules. So I know he's your boy, Mike, but we got to call him out on it too. That you get a club length from where you are, and if you're in the rough, and you can, like, there was a time where he put it on the putting green. He was off and put it on the green, and there was
Because
another
you're
time
allowed
where,
one club length.
right. So like, but it should be the same. You're one club
Oh,
length, but you should be able to get the same, like be in the same conditions, right? So to your point, like, yeah, he gets one club length, and if he is able to find a mound where he can put it, then he gets to
ah.
tee it up from there.
That
Again,
looked
I,
like a
I don't.
man-made mound.
It
Looked like he
probably
brought some
was.
bulldozers in and dug it out with a shovel
He's
and then
using
teed
little
it.
Tonka
Yeah.
trucks to.
Then underneath it, he put the tee and hit it around all the sand, so the tee was really in the ground. Anyway, I
So
don't know.
again, I don't love it either, but I could make the argument. Tiger went from chipping to putting, and it's one of those where, like, I think they need to. I'm fine with like scramble rules because it's supposed to be a fun event, makes it go quickly. But that those can we use some common sense and some things like that? Like, you're supposed to hit it in that alternate shot. You're supposed to hit it from where your partner's ball was. Your partner landed in the rough. Even if within one club is the fairway, you're still supposed to be hitting out of the rough. You know what I
Valid
mean?
point.
I don't know.
Valid point.
I think
Valid
that
point.
sometimes common sense needs to take over a little bit.
It's the holiday season, and what better gift is there than the gift of golf? Gift cards are now on sale for the Christopher P. Siciliano 10th hole, which is the first state of the art, municipally owned indoor golf facility in New Jersey, located adjacent to the award winning William F. Larkin Golf Course in Ocean Township, New Jersey. Home of 4 golf bays utilizing TrackMan technology with a large event space to host your next get together. From engagement parties, corporate events, holiday parties, and more, the 10th hole is the perfect venue. This unique facility has an affordable monthly membership option with no initial fees or stipulations. Interested in a membership? Come by and say Mike and Ryan sent you and receive 2 additional free hours for your first month. This promotion will be good until Wednesday, January 1st. Go check out the 10th hole today.
All right, Mike. The big part for today's episode. We've been having this running theme the last couple weeks where we did our top 10 private, top 10 public. Today is going to be our top 10 perfect picks. Or what did you rename it?
The Everyday 18.
Everyday 18. I love it. Oh, right there. The Everyday 18. So we want to make something very clear. This is the courses that we could play every day and not get bored with, not get angry with, not get like there were some courses on my and Mike, I know we talked a little bit about this through text, but like some on mine I didn't have, and there were others that I brought down, others I brought up. Like it's just whatever courses was I could not get old playing that or not get tired. So it's could be a little different, could be a little similar, could be a mix and match, but it's just the courses that we were like, hey, I played that course. That's a course that I could play every day and not get bored. So that's what we got. How do you want to start?
Let me start. Let me start because I think I probably had more difficulty with this than you. The way I'm listening to you talk.
Sure.
Because when I made my list and I took the top 10 public courses that I played and the top 10 private courses I played in 2024 in New Jersey, I had a hard time trying to be different, trying to have different ones in different areas. And I simply could not do it. I was going back and forth like, all right, let me just, for the sake of engagement, for the sake of debate, let me put this in there. And I'm like, nope, that's not real. That's not how I operate. So for me, it wasn't, I can honestly say I don't have a ton of variety, which I know is not a good thing in terms of like talking about playing the Everyday 18. But when I put those 20 courses in a list, I legitimately did not change my top 9 on the private side. It went in order, 1 through 9. Now, my one caveat, which again may cause a lot of people some issues, is I took Plainfield out of my Everyday 18, right? People may say, well, how do you do that? It's a top 5 golf course in New Jersey. It's a private golf course. It's Donna Ross. Why would you take that out? Well, frankly, I just took it out, right? Because I wanted to take it out. And I put in Ballyowen as my number 10. So if my Everyday 18 legitimately took my top 9 private courses, because there really wasn't a bad thing about any of those 9, and I frankly would not get bored playing any of them. And then I took out Plainfield and I inserted Ballyowen. Now people are going to say, Ballyowen is not better than Plainfield. Okay. Listen, again, we're all different.
That's
For me,
that's not what we're saying here. We're saying it's
right.
your favorite. Like, what are you? There was something about Plainfield that you didn't like. And that's fine. And not that you didn't like it, but like it doesn't suit your game. It doesn't suit your eye. We know you're a views guy. Like, whatever the reason is, and we don't need to justify the reason, but like whatever your personal reason is that you wanted to take Plainfield out and put Ballyowen in. That's what it is.
Yeah. For me, Ballyowen, I think, is a very, very good, not only golf course, but it's aesthetically pleasing. And me being a guy that likes to look around, I did not feel like I had that at Plainfield. Now, Plainfield is a phenomenal golf course. It's Donna Ross. History's there. A lot of big-time tournaments, well-known in the state. I get all that. But for me, Ballyowen, I can go hole by hole and be like, dude, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I got the mountains right there. I'm going up, I'm going down. I got a little bit of water here. I got this there. At Plainfield, yes, it has the architecture. It has the greens. It has the history, sure. But for someone like me, I felt like I was a little bit in a box and I'm moving around in a box. Where Ballyowen, I felt like I had space. I could put my feet out. I could put my arms out. I can just be a bird and fly away a little bit every so often.
Mike does that. He gets in the golf cart and he spreads his arms and legs. It's tough for me to drive because
I turn into Maui. I turn into Maui who just flies around. I got muscles like Maui and I just fly. Do you like that reference? Is
I,
that reference Moana? Okay,
I
you
was gonna
didn't
say,
watch
is that a
Moana
Moana?
2.
No, I haven't
Moana
watched
2 came
Moana
out.
2.
All right, well, I went to the movie theaters and saw it, so it made me think of that. But I still
I
have
don't have young girls to go to it with.
so I put Balio in 10. So for me, like, I'm kind of curious to see how you went about it because for me, I had difficulty saying, like, my number 2 is Francis Byrne on my public list. I'm not putting that anywhere in my top 9 playable list because for me, like, those 9 privates are so damn good, filtered in
You're
by Balio.
you're bougie. That's fine. You could be bougie. I do want to throw out real quick, Mike, because I wrote them down. Your top 10 private. You said the top 9 are the same. For those that don't remember or weren't listening or whatever reason,
Under a
Mike
rock.
went under a rock. Mike went 1 was Ridgewood, 2 was Manasquan River, 3 was Galloway National, 4 was Liberty National, 5 was Hamilton Farm, 6 was Hidden Creek, 7 Canoe Brook North, 8 Union League, 9 Hollywood, and now he's putting 10 Ballyowen rather than Plainfield. So
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Bring it on. Send me the DMs. Put me the comments. Let's go.
Micah, I'm gonna
I'm kind
tell
of
you
curious to hear.
something.
I'm kind of curious about yours.
I also don't have Plainfield in my top 10. So
Well, you almost died. You almost died that day because of the heat. That was a rough day.
almost die.
You almost died, right?
Again, the course is beautiful. Not even taking away that I almost died, but I do understand what you're saying about like playing in a box. The architecture is there. The little intricacies of the greens, the stream. There's blades of grass are in meticulously placed places. It is excellent as far as a golf course goes, but I wouldn't want to play it every day. And that doesn't mean I don't want to play it again. I would certainly go back. I did enjoy it. I would like to see what, holes 17 and 18 look like. But I would.
17 was hard.
Well, I hit my drive and said you could pick that ball up, and I had to hoof it in. But yeah, it was. We played it on a day in the summer when it was 112 degrees with 400% humidity. So it was a rough day. But Mike, how I looked at this, I kind of juggled it around a little bit. There are some courses that we played that I liked more, even if I didn't think they were some of the best that we played. And I think you'll see what I mean. Number 10 was Liberty National. Again, the views, I'm starting at 10, by the way. The views of Liberty National could never get old. We talked about how every blade of grass is in perfect condition, right? Even like when you park your car, they go get your car, they put the clubs in for you, they valet it, they take it out. You're getting ready to drive home, right? They go, "Would you like warm or cold bottle of water for your ride home?" And like they've thought of literally everything. That clubhouse is spectacular. Hole 18 might be the best closing hole in the state. It's a beautiful hole. You got the skyline there. Absolutely amazing. But Liberty National was my 10. Now, going back to where you were, I had Liberty National 8 on my top 10 private courses. So just kind of what we are talking about before. I'm not going to keep going back and forth, but you'll see what I mean. Number 9. 9 comes after 10 or before 10. Hominy Hill. I love Hominy Hill. Yeah, I love it there. I do like playing Hominy Hill early in the year. It gets such high regards and it gets kind of overplayed that I think by the end of July, it gets a little beaten up. Not from poor superintendents, not from anything like that, but the public, it gets overplayed. There's a lot of people that play it. You can go there on a Saturday, and if you have a 11 o'clock tee time, you're probably not getting out of there till closer to 5. Like they have some long rounds. There's a lot of play. A lot of people that are new into golf will go, "Oh, I want to play. This is supposed to be a top course in the state. Let me go play it. It's public. I can get on and go." And they don't play the right tee boxes, or they think they're at just like a regular knock around Muni, and that's not Hominy Hill. So you're going to get beat up there, right? So I do like playing it early in the season. That said, I could go around there and just have a great time. I think it's a course where you could play it from any tee box and have a good time. You could play it from any yardage. You wanted to play different games there with the buddies. I really do like Hominy Hill, and the new clubhouse they built is really nice as well. Number 8 was Union League. I talked about Union League last week, how much I enjoyed it there, how much I liked it. I could not get bored there uh, playing the different nines that they have. They got 3 different nines. I really like that part of it, but they do have some differences between the two. Some are a little more sandy, some are a little more wooded. It's an awesome course. Number 7 was Ballyowen. Same thing that you said. You got trees there. You got some rock outcroppings. You can kind of spread your legs a little bit. You don't feel like you're kind of going up and down, up and down. It's a little bit more spread out, right? Number 6 was not on either of my lists before. Number 6 is Forest Hills Field Club. I loved Forest Hills. It was great. It wasn't like you talk about like top courses in the state. I don't think it was that. Obviously, you didn't either when we had talked about it. But I could go there and I could play golf there every day and not get bored of the layout, not get bored of the challenges. I didn't think it was overly difficult. Where like I might go to Union League, it was a much more difficult golf course. I might go and get my butt kicked every day I go play there, but I would enjoy getting my butt kicked there. Forest Hills isn't that case. You have challenges. If you play poor golf, you're going to have a rough day, but it is a accepting golf course if you can play good golf. And I just really enjoyed myself. I think the atmosphere there, the clubhouse was beautiful. We got a little tour of the inside, so we got some different dining rooms, different clubhouses, or different like card rooms, different things. I could spend a lot of time there for sure. I really liked it. All right, now the top 5. and now there's not a ton of change. I'm with you on the private side. And again, not trying to be bougie, but I think this is. Number 5, I got Manasquan River. Love it there. We've talked about that in length. That
We have?
we've mentioned it once or twice. That back 9 is as beautiful as any place in New Jersey, with the views and the water and the holes. It's excellent. And then going inside, you have the 2 different pro shops. Chris does a great job with the pro shop and keeping that stocked. And then the locker room, it's got kind of that oldish feel, but it's well kept. The staff there is great. Everything about Manasquan is terrific. Number 4, Canoe Brook North. I guess really just Canoe Brook, but if I had to play one of those 2 courses, it would be the North course. Again, another reason why I like Canoe Brook, I could play either 18. That kind of sits with me. I like that I can go out and play different combinations. And I don't know if they do this, but maybe I play 1-9 on the north, 1-9 on the south. Like you can just kind of mix it up a little bit, and I like that you can kind of change your viewing there. I have said that for a long time. I'm not a member at a country club, mostly because I can't afford it, but also it would be tough to say I'm going to play this one course for the rest of my life.
I get it.
So, but Canoe Brook, with having both 18s, that clubhouse is beautiful. I could sit for hours in front of that fireplace there on the porch and watch people come in. Like that's a really good place. Number 3 was Ridgewood. We talked about Ridgewood, the golf course. It's not going to get better than that. The clubhouse, the locker room, everything was exquisite. I have nothing bad to say about Ridgewood. 3 9s as well, so you're going to see that theme coming up here. Number 2 was Hamilton Farm, Highlands, and the Hickory. So it's got 2 18s. The 9-hole courses are the par 3 courses where the majority of. When we had Chester there, he said that the players that play there, if they're just kind of being casual, they'll go play the par 3 course rather than go, play a tough round at the Highlands course. So I loved it there. I loved the history. I loved the, like, being able to be in that mansion was so cool. Thinking about, like, them having dinners. Again, enormous fireplace outside, um, that I could sit at and have cocktails for hours and hours. Being able to watch people come in to play, I really like as well. Them, like, hitting basically the ninth green is right there, so I really like that. And then number one that I liked was North Jersey. We don't get the views like that anywhere else. We don't get the rock outcropping. We don't get the undulations. We don't get the I love the look of, like, some of the fairways that just run into the bunkers, the greens that run into next tee box. Like, I love that, those looks, the aesthetics. I love everything about North Jersey. The staff is super friendly there. It is a beautiful clubhouse. I love the oldness of it, um, of how it looks. It's from the golden age. Like, I love so much about North Jersey that I could, while not multiple nines, it is just an 18. I would not get tired of playing that golf course, and not get tired of that, of being on property. I just love it there.
Listen, it's a great list. It's hard to argue any of them. I mean, I think that's where I kind of got stumped on is I would go play them all. I frankly, maybe the
And
top, even the 11, if you want to throw Plainfield in as 11 on my list, like I don't know if I'd get bored of that, which is, it's a good thing to say. And that's why we
yeah,
constantly say day in and day out, this is the best state when it comes to golfing, period. End of story. I'll love the debate, argue with anybody about that.
yeah, we've talked about it. I've talked about it with Chris Dimmick a few times. We talked about him on the podcast, and then the one time we got to play it, and he said something both times that just resonates with me. You can have a top 10 best in the state, right? But that best might not be your best, right? He might like something better that I like better. Again, you said 11, Plainfield's 11 for you. Someone else might think it's their one. It's all personal preference. And that's what this top 10 was about, was personal preference. I would go play any of those anytime, wouldn't think twice about it. But it's about the, what about it is for me the most personal that I would like to go play. And that's it. And something I took into consideration, and while we didn't always get to go have a drink afterwards or go see the insides of the place, like, that was something I took into consideration too. Like, how would I be able to would I be able to hang out here? And a club like Forest Hills was one of those that I'd be able to go and hang out there and have a good time, have some drinks, hang out with the membership, sit on those Adirondack chairs and watch people hit into that 18th hole. Like, that's something I could really get a hold of. So that's one that, again, I take a little more consideration in that. You're more of a golfer. You're looking for just the golf course and the views. So again, to each their own, but that's kind of how we came up with it. So it's my list, and I'm sticking with it.
Sounds good.
Uh, Mike, should we give a little preview of what we've talked about here
On.
on what we got coming up in 2025?
No, I think we let them sit and enjoy 2024 and be expecting big things ahead on the horizon.
Okay. Well, yeah, we got some big things. We're going to kind of continue this topic as we go through, but you'll see next week in the incoming weeks what Mike and I have planned for some of this, and then again, we got some big things in the works for 2025. I mean, some things that we talked about, like, if we look back to a year ago, Mike, we talked about getting up to Crystal Springs and being able to experience and play Ballyowen and Wild Turkey. Like, that was something that we were really wanted to do. If we look back at some of those resolutions, like, we had some big things. We had some big time guests on. We had some big time players on. We got to experience some things that we talked about and really had a great time with it, and really we're very, very fortunate. So with that, that's going to wrap up 2024 for us. Again, thank you to everyone for following along. Thank you to everyone for listening, for following, for liking, subscribing, for doing all that stuff. Again, Mike and I really, really enjoy this, but it's not, it doesn't, it pales in comparison to seeing when people come up to us like, oh, you're Ryan from the Drop Pod, you're Mike from the Drop Podcast. Oh, I like that hole on, that par you had on this hole, or great out of this. And, we really enjoy doing it, but it's you guys that make it fun for us. So thank you so much. Wishing you the happiest of New Year's. Be safe out there. Don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything I wouldn't do on New Year's Eve. Uh, be safe, and Mike and I will see you next year. Make sure you stay tuned Thursday for our interview with Drew Stoltz, co-host of Subpar. Right, goes by Sleaze. So we're going to call him. So make sure you stay tuned for that on Thursday. Till then, cheers.